Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do a Lady Dior bag review. I've had mine over 2 years, so it's really given me time to figure out how much I use it, whether I think it's worth it or not, some of the pros and cons, the different ways to style it. So for me, Lady Dior bags will always be a classic. That's one of the reasons I got it. I thought it would get great cost per wear. So I'm very conscientious when it comes to kind of bigger purchases. So there are lots of different sizes, lots of different materials, colors. I'm going to go through all of those with you to try and help you find the right one for you. Make sure you sign up for my newsletter because that's where I share all of the latest sales and discount codes if you're looking to buy the Lady Dior bag. So this is a Christian Dior Lambskin Cannage medium Lady Dior bag in light beige. So one of the things I look at when I'm purchasing bags is the material, and I always tend to go for calfskin because it's so much more durable. It is very, very hard to find this bag in calfskin, so I ended up with a lambskin, which there's pros and cons. It is beautiful, it is soft, but it damages very, very easily. I'm going to show you all the wear and tear on mine because there is quite a lot. I also went for the matte leather. It does come in patent leather as well. I just prefer matte. I think it looks classier and I think it's more timeless. So a few of the features of the Lady Dior bag, and this is pretty much across the board, they have them. The first thing I really like about it is the studs or feet on the bottom to really help protect the base from getting scratched, because like I said, it is that lambskin which scratches easily. The second thing I really like about this bag is I love a top handle bag. I love structured bags, so I really like that feature about this bag. The only thing about this bag, though, I will say with the top handles is, and a few people say this about it, they do tend to fall down. So when you're storing them, I am kind of conscientious about trying to balance them to get them to stand upright. The other feature I really like about this bag is it has the detachable shoulder strap. So I tend to not use it. I tend to only use the shoulder strap if I'm maybe on a city break, want to be hands-free, and I tend to wear it cross-body that way. So there are different ways to wear it. Obviously, you can carry it as a top handle. You can also use it as a shoulder bag or a cross-body bag. One of the tips I have for your Lady Dior bag is how to attach the shoulder strap. Now, if you want the handles to stand upright and to keep the bag balanced, the easiest way to do it is to attach one strap on the back behind the handles and then one on the front right here. So that way it kind of really helps to hold the handles up so they're not flopping. Do you see what I mean? The shoulder strap then really helps prevent it flop on either side and keeps those handles upright. So that's just my suggestion on how you attach your shoulder strap. One of the downsides of the shoulder strap is that it's not adjustable. It's one size, at least on this style anyway. So if you're shorter like I am, it might be too long, taller, it might be too short. So definitely if you get the opportunity to try this on in store, I know some people think it's funny trying on a bag, but I think it's really important to try it on to kind of understand how the proportions work with you, how the length of the strap works for you. Now, the bag does come with either silver or gold hardware. I chose the gold just because I tend to wear a lot of gold jewelry. I just really like the color. I prefer it to silver, at least at the moment anyway. I do go through phases. So on the front, you have your Lady Dior charms. They don't tend to stay necessarily the right order. They tend to go back and front in front of that protective leather. The only thing with this is that it does tend to leave a mark on the bag underneath. Now, I bought a cleaning set for this because it was quite dirty being a light beige. I got light beige because it's so practical, so versatile, but it gets dirty easily. And that did help to get rid of some of the stains. Now, some people comment about the charms jangling when they walk. Now, I have never heard my charms jangle. I'm not jumping around when I walk though. So, I mean, if I give it a good shake, yes, they jangle, but that's not how I'd walk. Maybe like this. I don't know. I'm never hearing a jangle with it. So that to me is not an issue. The other thing I really like about this bag, and it's a big pro to me because some people have mentioned it as a con in a lot of the newer styles. Now, mine has a zipper fastening on the top, which I absolutely love. The zipper means it gives you more security, so you don't just have it totally open. B, I can just dip my hands in. Some of the other Dior bags have that flap on the top, and people are saying that annoys them with it. So I can see how that could be annoying. But this bag, I think, is a 2003. I got it in 2022, secondhand. So I feel like some of the older models and different styles, if you can look for that zipper fastening, I think you're going to prefer it to the flap. So there are no exterior pockets on this Lady Dior bag, but what I like on the inside, another tip is to keep bag stuffers to help keep the shape of your bag. You don't even have to go out and buy the special pillows for them that go inside. I just keep the ones that literally come in my Amazon parcels and use those to stuff all of my bags. It doesn't cost you anything and it keeps the recycling going. So on the inside, you do have kind of that Cannage print on the material, and there is an interior pocket on this one which zippers fast. So I kind of like that it has a zipper pocket. So I don't always take my full-size wallet with me. It doesn't always fit in here, so I tend to put a card holder and put it in that interior pocket to make it easy to find. Otherwise my bag's so overstuffed, it's like finding everything, and it is quite a tight opening. It doesn't necessarily look it, but it feels quite tight, especially when you've got a ring on, it kind of gets stuck. So the easier, the better. But that's the inside of the bag. It is a material, so it is quite easy to wipe down if you have a makeup spill in there. So what fits in the medium Dior bag? So I love the small and mini and micro Dior bag. They're super cute, but they're not the most practical. And I got this bag not to be an evening bag. I got it for an everyday bag. So I don't want something big and bulky, but I just wanted something that would be really, really practical and at least fit my phone. I have the twillies here for a reason, and I'll get to that. So I can fit my large wallet on a chain in this bag. It does fit in and it does do up. The only thing with that though is that it does tend to take up a lot of the bag. I can fit in a compact mirror, a comb, lip gloss, a lipstick, hairbrush, and then my sunglasses. They do all fit in there and I can still zipper it shut. The only thing is though, that wallet does take up a lot of room and I feel like I'm not really using wallets as much anymore. So I tend to, like I said, use the card holder and then I put it on that inside pocket and it keeps it nice and neat. The other thing I often carry around with me is my tripod and remote. The only thing with this bag though, I can fit it in as well as the remote, but I'm not going to be able to zipper it shut. So if that's a deal breaker for you, if you happen to be using a tripod, if you're a creator, it's really, really hard to fit in here and zipper it shut. But to be honest, I don't always zipper it shut. So that's not a deal breaker for me. I feel like the medium bag is a brilliant size for every day, for going day to night. You can literally fit your life in there. Like I said, I got the light beige to be one of the most versatile colors. So when it comes to styling it, I can use it as a top handle in my hands, tucked in the nook of my elbow. I can use it as a crossbody. I can use it as a shoulder bag, and it literally goes with every single outfit. Another tip I have to protect the handles, because mine have a lot of wear on them. I think one is just them rubbing together when it's standing and being stored upright. The other from holding it the whole time is to tie a twilly on there. Now I did a whole different video on that, on how to tie twillies onto bags, on how to get more use out of them. Because it is two handles, you do need two twillies, so it does start to add up. I did try just doing one to begin with, but it was so awkward with them tied together to be able to fit your hand in, to do the zipper. So I did get two twillies. That just makes life so much easier. It does change up the aesthetics, so I do have the matching suede shoes just to tie the whole look together. But you could get different color ones to tie them with different outfits, and I definitely suggest that just to protect the handles, especially if you have the Lambskin Dior bag. And one of the reasons I don't leave my twillies tied on my bag is because I do like to use them as a hair accessory, as a necktie, on my hats, and just for other uses. So that's why I don't leave them on here the whole time. Another tip I have for putting the twilly on to make sure your ends are even on both sides is to start in the middle. So find the center of your twilly, put it onto the middle of the bag. Don't start at one end. That way you're going to have an even amount of material when you get to either end. And obviously you don't have to do it with a Dior twilly. That does get expensive and it might seem a bit excessive when you're buying two of them. But I like everything to be cohesive and tie in. And one of these was a gift anyway. And then the other thing I like to do is to leave my ends quite short so you can still see the Dior charm. Sometimes people will leave it longer and cover it, and that's just a personal choice. So pros and cons of the Lady Dior bag. The first one that for me is a pro is that it doesn't have the flap on it that the Lady ABC Dior bag has. Another thing I love about this bag is that it's such a classic. It's not something that's going to date, especially in the color and the material I went for. So definitely consider that when choosing the print and color. I also love that it has the feet studs to protect the base because it is that delicate lambskin. The detachable shoulder strap in the interior pocket are also really nice features that I like. And then the light color, there's both pros and cons to that, and that was a personal choice, and I just kind of like balanced out the pros and cons. Yes, it's going to get dirty, but I just get so much use out of it, it's worth it to me. So if you're deciding on what style of Lady Dior bag to get and deciding between the classic Lady Dior and the Lady Dior D-Lite, I feel like the Lady Dior is such a classic and elegant style. If you're not such a fan of the big logos, this is going to be the way to go. The Lady D-Lite bag is going to be better if you don't want a leather option and if you like a big logo because it has Christian Dior embroidered right across the front. So when it comes to prices and sizing of the Lady Dior bag comes in 5 different sizes and the prices keep going up. They keep doing price increases, the same as Chanel does. It seems to be happening across the board. So if you're thinking about getting one, get one sooner than later. And if you want a style that lasts, I suggest going for a solid color and a classic material like one of the leathers. So this smallest size bag, and it's super cute, it's a micro Lady Dior, but literally you're only going to fit your credit cards and your lipstick and maybe a key in there. The next size up is the mini Lady Dior, then you have the small Lady Dior, the medium Lady Dior, which is this size, and then the large Lady Dior bag, which is big enough to be an everyday tote bag. There are so many different bags in the Lady Dior collection, so there really is something for everyone. So once you've chosen your size and color, there's also the material to consider. So I love the satin. I think it's a really beautiful bag for an evening bag, for a really glam look. There's also the lambskin, which is this, which is going to be your softer, more delicate leather. There's also calfskin and bullskin, which is the leathers I'm really interested in because they're obviously going to scratch a lot less and be a lot more durable. And then there's microfiber if you want a more casual everyday look. Okay, so where is the best place to buy a Lady Dior bag? So if you're looking for a brand new Lady Dior bag from the latest collection, obviously a Dior boutique is going to be your best option. That way you also know it's authentic. If you're looking for a better price or looking for a vintage bag, you could also buy a pre-loved bag from a luxury consignment store. In saying that, be very, very careful with who you buy from. Make sure it's from a very legit source. So I like Fashionphile. They give you a lifetime certificate of authenticity, which is really important because to me, it looks authentic. But what if I go to a Dior store in 5 years' time and they're like, oh, this isn't real? I can then go to Fashionphile and like, hey, you sold me an inauthentic bag. What's the refund? What's the policy? How do we move forward? But in saying that, I've had lots of things from Fashionphile and never had any issues. Also, if you're deciding between getting a Chanel bag or a Dior bag, Chanel does tend to hold its value slightly better if that's important to you. Is the Lady Dior bag worth it or not? So it is a very personal question because it does depend on how much you usually spend on a bag and also how much you use it. I have had so much wear out of this bag, and I realized when I was looking for images for the cover image for this YouTube video, how much wear I'd had out of it, how many times I'd used it. And it just, to me, is such a great classic bag. I always feel a little bit special wearing it. So when deciding on buying a bag, if you're looking at it as an investment piece, one of the biggest misconceptions right now is buying a designer bag as an investment piece. So yes, it may go up in value, but unless you're selling it to a friend, you need it to go up 60 to 70% to break even. Places like Fashionphile, The RealReal take 60 to 70% commission. So do you see what I'm saying with that? It has to go up that much from what you bought it from to break even. So it literally has to go up over 70% for you to make any money and for you to actually see it as an investment. I personally don't suggest buying bags as an investment piece, but because you love them and know you'll wear them. So all of that is to say personally that I think the Lady Dior bag is worth buying, but it really depends on how much you have as a budget and how much you think you'll use it. But if you're on the fence about buying it because you're worried it will go out of style, there is very little chance of that happening given its long history. Just make sure you're buying it in a leather, in a classic neutral color like a black or beige, so that it's something that won't date as quickly as a trending color. I'm going to link where to buy them both new and pre-loved in the description below. Thanks so much for watching. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a quick thumbs up and subscribe.